Hi everybody. So today we are going to talk a little bit about proper show halter fit. This came to my attention after I see some pictures and things from people that might be at open shows or such, and I think when I see some of these horses in the halter and the showmanship classes, I think what a shame they have such a cute head and they have a halter that's hanging down off their nose. So some of the things that I often see, I don't even know if I can let this halter down far enough, are the noses hanging way down on the front of the face, even further than this, chains over the nose, which I'll talk about too. And what you want to think about with a show halter, or when you're showing halter or you're showing showmanship or whatever, is that you are trying to accentuate all of your mules or your horse's good points and downplay anything that might be a fault. Because remember, halter is confirmation stuff. So the first thing that I'll mention is the height of this right here. So they have their cheekbones, whatever, that stick out right here. This should be right up there. And it used to kind of be a rule that, oh, you know, a finger in between, but I see lots of them. They're right up tight to horseflies, right up tight to that bone. So you bring that up there, and what it does is it just divides up the parts of the head. It makes them look more balanced. So she doesn't really have a very big head. In fact, this was my show halter, my show horse's halter back from a long time ago. It is a really quality halter. It's a Roth halter, and I think I've had it for 21 years this year because it was a wedding present, and I will keep it forever. But nonetheless, it doesn't have to be the most spectacular halter if it just fits right. So you want to keep this underneath. This needs to be tight enough that it's not terribly comfortable. I know that sounds awful, but you know, good looking clothes sometimes aren't comfortable. And this needs to be up into their jaw, nice and snug, nice and tight, hugging up in here. And this should be right up behind their ear. So all this needs to be nice and snug and tight. This needs to be up to there, to this little bone that you can see up in here. This could actually probably even go up a little bit more on her, where you get it right up to the jawbone, right in there. She actually has a smaller head than my old horse did, so and it's stretched a little bit over the years, but I think you get the gist. This has to be right up there. So let's talk a little bit about the chain. So I also see lots of people who think that they need to run that chain over the nose because, like, oh, if I want to bring my horse's head down, I need the chain over the nose, right? Well, not necessarily. If you train them to give to pressure, they should move their head down or up depending on how you ask, no matter where that chain is. So that chain is just a little bit of an attention getter. It's not to be mean, obviously. And the other thing that I like to do is run the chain through the loop on the bottom. It keeps it from slipping down on their chin and looking sloppy. Personally, I prefer a chain that doesn't even have to run up the side, but I kind of do like having a long chain. So I end up running up the side. This is about all, here, Bristol. This is about all you want of extra chain too. And you never hold the chain, you're always down here. So you don't want a ton of chain there, just for control reasons, right? You don't want all that slop in there. So anyway, just keep thinking it's about confirmation, right? You're trying to accentuate your horse's features and downplay anything that they might have that are not desirable or whatever. And one thing that you can do is hike that halter up and keep it snug. Yes, it's not it's not something they're going to eat in. It's tight, but it looks nice and it stays put. So also when you're using your chain or whatever, you're not twisting that halter all over the place. It just looks so much nicer and neater. And I think that is about it. So anyway, try that with your halters. Hike them up there, punch some holes if you have to. They often come, you know, when you buy them, they often don't have everything where you need it, so you kind of have to make that work. This needs to be somewhat short on the side too to be able to hike that up there. Keep those in there. If they have wires in them, that's great because you can push them right in. So anyway, just something to think about with your showmanship and halter fitting. Thanks. Bye.